it's going to be tough for him to rejoin the scene, particularly as a top laner when so much about the metagame has changed in terms of teleports and lane swaps. It's much more complicated to be a top laner than when he was playing.
Very true. Well, we will see what they can muster this game. It's going to be bans of Alistar and Rek'Sai for IM. Gragas Kalista so far coming out of Samsung Galaxy. See what the last ban for IM is going to be.
So no Zed band, even though Samsung does have the last pick on the red side.
Yeah, we talked about this last time we watched Samsung play too, and that Zed ban, especially against Samsung when they're on the red side, is starting to seem like kind of a necessity, but we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being a necessity this game or not.
Yeah.
Sure looked like it should be last time.
Rumble, okay. This could give a first pick Maokai to IM, and that is definitely Lilac's best champion, at least we saw him last season. They are going to prioritize the Sivir.
Lilac has played 3 games so far this season, 2 in top lane, 1 in the jungle, and he's lost all 3 of them. Maokai, Echo, and Rek'Sai are the picks that he has lost with.
He's played 2 in the jungle and 1 in the top lane.
Oh, you're right. I had that backwards. My bad.
So yeah, he played the jungle Echo, didn't really do a whole lot of work there.
Not
and
really.
I think Cuvée definitely takes the Maokai away in this scenario.
It's such a strong pick overall, and it really is Lilac's like only decent champion that we've seen lately.
It also opens up the possibility of a pick comp here. You have to keep that in mind that they don't have to pick their jungler right now if they don't want to. They can hold out for a Nidalee pickup. That is Eve's pocket pick of choice.
An early Azir picked up for Crown. Now that's a little bit surprising. Are they just kind of saying that they just don't think Frozen can handle him, even if Frozen picks the Victor?
Yeah, that is
it's a bit surprising.
That is a bit surprising, actually, as a quick pick in this game.
Yeah, Tucson with the Lee Sin. I don't know about that early Azir. That may come back to haunt Samsung a little bit.
Especially when they have that last pick, and we've seen Samsung successfully shut down the Victor with the Zed in their last match. Maybe they want to take the Twisted Fate. They already have a bit of a roadmap for how to beat Incredible Miracle. It will be a Mundo top.
All right, well, I mean, they're expecting a lot of AP coming out of Samsung. I mean, Corki would be the natural pick with the Sivir gone, and Dr. Mundo is going to be pretty strong against potentially that much AP coming out of Samsung.
Yeah, it is a bit dangerous, but then again, Fury is a player who can perform on these hyper carries. He is the focal point of Samsung Galaxy.
It's a Nidalee for Eve, and Eve has been extremely good on this Nidalee.
It's just that Nidalee has such high synergy for ganking with a Maokai because you basically guarantee yourself to land on the spear because you're able to W to set it up with the Maokai. And against a Mundo who's so highly gankable, this is going to be really difficult for Lilac to survive the laning phase.
Yeah, and you know they're going to pick on him too. We saw Fury hovering over Caitlyn for a little bit. I would love to see Caitlyn come back.
Well, it needs something to kill the Mundo.
Yep,
so
I think it'd be really good.
They have to go, I think, for a stronger AD carry. They won't have the damage to kill Mundo in the late game if they do end up selecting Corki.
The headshot changes did happen in 5.11, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that means that that Caitlyn would have that extra armor pen against the Mundo. And we are still on 5.11, I believe, today, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, we are. We are indeed.
I love that Samsung's waiting for the AD carry here because what that's saying is they see the Mundo, they know they need to pick something that is powerful but possibly not that mobile, so they need to make sure that they know exactly what they're dealing with in terms of the full composition before they commit to Fury as they try and build around here. They've got so much peel. They have the Azir wall, they have the Janna Monsoon, a lot of choices to be made for how to peel for an AD carry, so whatever he picks, he's going to be pretty safe. And honestly, not that much of a backline threat from IM, unless Mundo gets a flank, which is difficult to do. There is a total lack of primary engage on Incredible Miracle's side. It's going to be pretty easy to kite them.
Yeah, and again, I feel like this just leads into more of a Caitlyn pick you've got the net to help kite even more.
You can totally pick
Kog'Maw works too, yeah. They've got enough protection for him. I just want to see Caitlyn, man.
Yeah, but Kog'Maw is going to rip through this team.
Yeah.
And again, they have so much peel, and they're going to be able to kite really, really well. Sure, IM has a Sivir ultimate, but that'll just be nullified by an Azir wall pretty easily, and then you're just gonna, or a Monsoon, and then they have no way to re-engage. Multiple forms of disengage will trump the Sivir ultimate as long as Samsung is grouped and able to kite back 5v5.
Well,
so the Kog'Maw coming through.
Yeah, will be the Kog'Maw for Samsung Galaxy, and they've got the protection for it. They've got the ability to poke. They've got the ability to pick. And they should have the ability to win here. I am picking themselves into a little bit difficult of a composition to win with here. Seemingly.
Well, interesting times. Normally you wouldn't pick the Kog'Maw, but this, I think, is a very, very good time to grab it. They are going to have to be worried about that 2v2, especially once Roar and Ignar hit 6. Tucson may have some very good ganking opportunities because Kog'Maw is going to have to play very cautiously against depth charge and on the hunt.
IM can still definitely make plays, but it's just going to be tough to get into the back lines like that, you know?
Yeah. Big, big task for Tucson to try and insect his way to kills onto Fury.
Yeah.
I don't know about this. Samsung looking like they have a lot of answers to what Incredible Miracle is trying to do.
Well, let's see if the answers are what it takes. Samsung again, you know, last time these teams played, Samsung won a very easy 2-0, was not even close. So I am looking for a bit of revenge too because it was so recent. But is that a good thing or a bad thing right now? I guess we're about to find out, guys, as we move into game number 1 between Samsung Galaxy and Longzhou IM. Here in our second best of 3 of the day on Champion Summer. It is time, guys. Let's get in the game. And welcome to Summoner's Rift. Longzhou IM versus Samsung. And something at the end there.
It's Castle John's birthday today.
Oh, it is. Oh, really? Nobody told me. I feel rude. I didn't wish him a happy birthday when he came in.
That's because you are rude.
I'm so rude. But actually, I would associate myself with Michelangelo, who's a party dude.
Not rude, just a party dude.
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, I was thinking Raphael, but he's more cruel but crude. Yeah. Oh, well. Better than doing machines, right? It's like Donatello. That didn't come out quite right.
I didn't know that was where you were going when you started that sentence.
Really?
Nope.
Just talking about the Ninja Turtles. It should have been
nope.
fairly obvious, I thought.
I just assumed we were on our way to a glorious Freudian slip that revealed your true inner feelings and actions, Noah.
See, you would have hoped that, but it ended up just being another 90s reference. Oh.
Well, aren't they one and the same?
Sometimes. Sometimes. Maybe. Did you have like a 90s video game, or not video game, like a cartoon crush? Cartoon character? April O'Neil, perhaps?
No.
No?
Can't
I'm
say
trying to think of who the... What about Xanatos from Gargoyles? He was well dressed enough for you. I've got a feeling that was your cartoon crush, Monty.
You got it, man.
I thought so. That's what I was expecting. How about the Xanatos? It's a great show. Gargoyles. One of the few we haven't mentioned before.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Gargoyles very much.
That was great, though. A lot of ancient lore and history there. Oh, a red steal coming in from Samsung. Steals from both sides, though.
Yeah, just pretty standard lane swap here. And
yep.
Kog'Maw going to be left alone early as Roar and Ignar are just going to farm up safely without having to deal with the Bioarcane Barrage poke. And that can be quite annoying, especially with the range on Kog'Maw and Janna's Eye of the Storm adding more damage. You really just want to wait until you actually have kill pressure in that lane.
Oh, Frozen actually was able to get one of the Raptors, I believe.
Nice.
I saw the gold mist flying towards him. Meaning, you know, he got the Raptor. Yeah.
It's a weird way to get a Raptor. You know, when you get it, you just have mist flying at you and entering your body. It's rather scary.
I don't think I'd like that. I don't know. We need Chris Pratt to come in teach those Raptors how to follow them around and help do things.
I'm so glad I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, I actually wasn't going to see it, but then a friend of mine wanted to see it. I ended up going along. It was very average. It was my current most average movie. As we see perhaps a bit of a gank coming in here. Houston joining the fight. They're going to do some damage to Kube. Oh, they grab Wraith. A lot of damage onto him. There's the flash. Oh, Lee Sin coming in. 2Sin manages to get that first blood. And the turret not doing quite enough.
Yeah, nice follow-up there. Wraith getting a little bit greedy. Probably should have flashed a little bit sooner as Ignar lands the hook for that first blood. And that's be a nice early pickup right there. IM committing pretty hard to the top side of the map. And not enough checking of those brushes either. Ignar did manage to get behind as Wraith and Kuve walked forward.
Well, Ignar 100% on that Nautilus, which, you know, really isn't that impressive because he loses all the other games. But Nautilus games, he wins.
There's the assists per game on average. As we take a look at some of these new carry stats, you know, I'm actually a big fan of the top metric, which is damage dealt plus damage taken divided by playing time, because that's a good way to both get stats for if you're a tanky top laner and not punishing so much if you are in fact a carry top laner. The interesting metric right there, something that I haven't seen used really in League of Legends before.
Yeah, I like the attempt. I still have beef with the support one, though. Only assists? Come on. Come on.
Assists plus wards killed?
Yeah. Maybe work it into, like, ADC death somehow. Way against it.
Kills are worth twice as much for supports right now.
Oh, absolutely. Because they're so much harder to get.
They call it the bloodthirsty multiplier.
That's right. Or BM for short. Maybe we'll need to think of a different name for that multiplier.
Nope. I think it's fine just the way it is.
We'll use it. I'm sure we'll see that up on LoL Esports in like 24 hours or so. We'll get Frank Fields on that one.
So, not a whole lot here, just some defensive warding, courtesy of Wraith in the top side as he's looking to protect his flashless tree in the top lane. And now they're going to flash for this one, though.
Flash Q on the Kube. Nice whirlwind from Wraith, though, keeping that gank from turning into anything more. And that was a flash used by Ignar to set that one up.
Not sure that Ignar should have flashed, considering they walked through a pink ward on their way up. And Samsung was already back underneath the turret, so not a good use of flash there.
Well, Samsung's going to respond by going for this dragon, and they should be able to take it.
That's a great response.
Yeah, pretty easily.
So they lost a flash for really nothing, and now they are likely going to lose a dragon.
Oh, Frozen coming up, trying to cause some trouble, and he's going to try to steal it. Doesn't get it, though. Fury able to finish off the dragon.
Ring Troll is amazed.
Ring Troll disappointed. He's like, oh, I really thought he'd get it with the Death Later.
Well,
it's been a while since you played, hasn't it, Ring Troll?
A little bit risky.
A little bit.
Because Eve didn't have Smite while they tried to take that dragon. So there really was a very real threat of Frozen being able to burst it down with the Death Ray. Doesn't end up happening. We do see Crown setting up those Sand Soldiers for a line of defense to prevent Frozen from moving in towards the pit.
Either way, a nice little early boost for Samsung Galaxy. And pretty sizable CS lead already for Kuve up in this top lane, too. Lilac struggled like none other in the top lane in Champion Spring. Receiving the Long Panda Memorial Trophy.
Always an exciting award to receive.
Yep. We should really make a physical. No, that'd be too mean. That'd be too mean. It'd be hilarious, but it'd be really mean.
It would be terribly mean, though.
That's true. Let's not do that. Set the Reddit aflame. Oh, Ignar may get a little bit caught here. There's a knock-up. Still manages to get out with the dredge line, though.
It's already in the air. You will cancel out some of those other interactions as soon as it hits the wall and drags you forward. So Nautilus is a champion that you can play a little bit more recklessly with as a result, because it is hard to lock him down. You have fast enough reaction time on the dread line. And Lilac is now level 6 and hasn't died yet, so they haven't made the big commitment to the top side that I thought we would see. Instead, I am really focusing on that top lane matchup.
Sure enough. I like when the Sand Soldiers stop attacking, they just sort of like stand there.
At attention with their spears in the air.
Yeah, they're like, well, nothing else is going on now. I mean, come on, guys, think for yourselves. There's minions all over the place. You don't have to wait for Azir to tell you to do stuff.
They're very obedient soldiers.
I guess so.
They don't even think or operate without any kind of orders.
It's true.
They also don't have brains because they're made out of sand.
They don't last very long. Oh, well. It's a tough life being a Sand Soldier.
Is it worse to be a minion or a sand soldier?
Well, at least you get to do things when you're a Sand Soldier. Minions, you only get to kill people once in a while when the people you're killing are, like, really dumb. Like, oh, that guy got killed by minions, wow. Or, whoa, that guy got killed by a Sand Soldier. You notice the difference there?
Yeah, but the lifespan is just so short when you're a sand soldier. Sure, it's short on a minion too, but sometimes you could get like triple the life expectancy maybe.
Yeah, but like, if you're a minion though, that depressing march to lane where you're just inevitably going to die. You know, what are the chances of being one of the minions that comes out at the end of the game and like lives? What happens to those minions? Do they get retired? Is there like is it like a like Hunger Games thing where there's like a special village set aside for the minions that live at the end?
I'd prefer to think that Summoner's Rift is a cruel place that just puts them in the next game.
They just have to go back and join the next game. Oh, it's a sad life those minions have.
Bleak. Very bleak.
Depressing even. Why would Riot make such a depressing part of their game? They just want us to feel bad? I guess so. It's not something we were meant to contemplate. Nope, nobody in there. In fact, Nidalee is coming out of the base right now. Maybe a play on to Crown coming in from the IM side of things, though. Nope, Houston going back up top. Looking for things to take, putting down a ward. Yeah, Cuvée still maintaining about a 20 CS lead up in this top lane. Still looking pretty powerful. Are they going to see Houston? So this is going to help Lilac catch up a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he gets a little bit of a freeze here, but it's still not a lot. And they have to deal with this Kog'Maw, who is getting bigger by the minute, has gone unpunished, really, in this bottom side. We've only had that one kill this game, but Samsung securing the early dragon is huge because they have the scaling advantage here. Yeah. So they don't really have to worry about fighting that dragon all that much, and IM is still saddled with the same problem. Unless Lilac has some heroic teleport flanks, they're just never really going to be able to get into the back line as long as Samsung doesn't thoroughly botch an Emperor's Divide or a Monsoon.
We've even got Jurassic Kog'Maw in this game. Oh, Ignar, wow. Roar taking a lot of damage.
Wow, he just stood there, and it seemed like he was trying to fake out Fury, but Fury just hit him with everything while he was standing still, and Fury able just to dodge the boomerang blade at the end of that trade.
Eve may be coming down. You know, I would call... Oh, not going to see him. Ooh. You know, I would call Jurassic Kog'Maw champion 65 million years in the making, but that title's already been taken by Ao Shin. So we can't use that for him, unfortunately. Oh well. Tried.
Too bad.
Maybe next time, Jurassic Kog'Maw.
We got a lot of time though before Ao Shin comes out, I imagine.
Yeah, well, someday our ancestors will get to play that champion. Or no, a little bit of a play on the ground. Didn't even need to flash for that though. I guess not our ancestors, unless.
Well, I don't know.
Unless they go back in time and put them in beta or something. I don't know.
No, you're just going to bring them back from the past.
I guess so, yeah.
You're going to rescue them.
Our descendants someday will play Ao Shin. Be the best champion ever. Worth the wait. Well, I am taking a lot of space around this dragon. See if they can actually get it, though, and tie things up.
Samsung definitely doesn't even have to contest this dragon. They can
don't need to fight it, do they?
easily give it up at this stage. Wait for later into this game when they have more items on this Kog'Maw, when he's a bigger carry threat, and when he comes into his own.
Yeah.
After the Trinity Force and Blade of the Ruined King and possibly a Last Whisper are completed.
Well, that makes a lot more sense, too. Ooh, maybe a play onto this bottom lane. TuSin is right there.
Yeah, you have the kill pressure. This is the dangerous part about this lane. Fury's playing really far up, too.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Wow,
this looks so dangerous. He's got to check the brush. You've got to check the brush.
I'm surprised they didn't see what
He should really check the brush.
I think...
Whoa!
I think they think that Nidalee's there because of how he's playing. I think this is actually some sort of complex mind game where Fury walking in front of the wave like that is actually convincing IM that Nidalee is there, because otherwise you absolutely just pull the trigger on that.
It's the rare reverse bait.
Play like your jungler's always there, and
it's true.
Sometimes you scare your opponents into not engaging. Fury again just right at the edge of that hook range, using that phage speed very effectively. But yeah, I really think that's the only explanation, because you can just flash on top of them with the depth charge and the Lee Sin and take out that Kog'Maw with...
Would have been a very easy insect kick.
Yeah.
Would have been a very easy Dragon's Rage. You wouldn't have even needed to insect that one. Well, Eve, now he is there.
He's there to farm the minions.
Yep, I guess so.
The Spears, lots of wards for Samsung, and they're going to check that brush with the orb, but not find anything there.
Well, are they going to pull the trigger on this maybe, Roar? If that whirlwind would have hit, they might have been able to make something happen. Because here comes Eve, a lot of damage onto Ignar. Gets away, though, with the dredge line to the turret. And he'll be just fine.
If you want to play this lane against Kog'Maw Janna, you have to be willing to commit and pull that trigger if you're a Sivir Nautilus. Otherwise, you get poked out. You're going to lose the dragon because you don't have the HP to fight it.
That's right. TuSin knows this is going on. Everybody does. Going to take out the ward. Dragon pulled out of the pit here. It's a bit of a risk. TuSin could come in and try to steal it. Will he be able to? Lands that Q. Came in really early, and looks like they'll get it anyway. Wow. Whoa, but a huge ult use. Big Dragon's Rage onto Samsung. Samsung backing away. Chaos Storm chasing them. Can they get back to the turret? They lost Wraith. That was a huge series of knockups. I think that was the ult from Ignar. Yeah, that's right. It just went through everybody on Samsung.
Yeah, it did. And Wraith dies without using his flash or the Monsoon right now. Can they actually keep this turret alive is the main question.
Maybe.
Crown has his ult. I think he should just go in and ult these people away if they keep committing to it. Doesn't have to.
They don't even
They're going to back out.
It'll be just fine. And so second dragon goes to Samsung. It looked really close, but I think it was just TuSin kind of mistiming his smite a little bit. Allowed Samsung to grab it. And they are still a tiny bit behind in gold because of the kills, but they've got those two dragons. And at this point, now the Kog'Maw's got their Trinity Force. Now things are starting to sort of power up for Samsung, so I feel like we should expect some turrets starting to go down now.
Yeah, they are in a very good place at the moment, especially with that second dragon. Yes, they're a bit behind in terms of gold, but IM is the one that really has to commit right now. Otherwise, Fury's just going to keep on farming these empty lanes. There's no reason for him to be bottom side any longer. So what Samsung's doing now is just committing to give Fury a ton of farm. They just gave him the wave at the top side because they want him to get big as fast as they can.
A little bit of pressure coming in on this top lane. And with that Trinity Force now, they're just going to lane swap and push down the turret.
Lilac doesn't have a lot of armor to deal with this, so they're thinking he's going to be easily poked out right now, which he is.
He will be.
And then they're going to be able to take the tower and just even up that gold lead. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Kuve has more wave clear than that Mundo, especially from range, and just stacking HP right now, catalysted to Health Crystal, so he's not limited in the same way. Rourke's going to spell shield that. Fury just continuing to walk forward.
Yeah, being very bold with this Kog'Maw. They actually didn't get as much damage done to the turret as I thought they would. It was a 3v3. But it shouldn't take too much longer. Wow, Wow, Crown's got the Morellonomicon and the Abyssal Scepter now, too. Whoop, knock up onto Ignar. That's a lot of damage coming in onto him.
Yeah, just so much work being done. And Eve, Samsung is a team that really likes to have Eve in the lanes on these sieges.
Yeah.
Just doing work, getting that attack speed and the heal onto the Kog'Maw to do even more damage during the BioArcane Barrage toggles.
See, this is what, I feel like we could see from CJ, right? We could see Ambition doing this exact same thing on Nidalee.
Yeah, Ambition he doesn't spend as much time in the lane as Eve does, though. Samsung is a team, yeah, they definitely could. Samsung is a team that definitely likes to have Eve in the lane a lot. They started out this season with a fast pushing, with the Nunu in the lane, and having Fury on champions like Jinx, just to quickly push down turrets.
Yeah, they won some games like that too. I am, though, able to grab the first turret of the game in bot lane, so the top lane siege from Samsung not actually working out for them.
Yep. Good defense from Incredible Miracle. They managed to stave off most of the damage. They had the Mundo with the ultimate to make sure that he was healed up after his poke, and that means that they actually win out in the end as they're able to push down the tower against the Maokai. So good response from Incredible Miracle. They take even more of a gold lead, however small it may be right now, and now they move Roar into top. They want to keep trading objectives at this point, get that outer turret down.
Oh, they'll get it too. Doesn't look like Kuvea is going to be able to do anything about it. They're just going to trade top turret for bottom tier 1, it looks like. Maybe Crown can get some damage done to mid.
Yep, going to give Fury the gold in isolation as he works towards his Blade of the Ruined King.
So when we talk about late game scaling for these teams, oh, never mind, there's a dive. Going on, ult onto Kuvei is going to twist advance and try to avoid it. Gets pushed back, a lot of turret damage being done, but Kuvei just not quite tanky enough. Meanwhile, Ignar perfectly tanky. There's a flash for the kill there. Oh, meanwhile, Emperor's Design and Crown comes in for the double kill. Emperor's Divide, that is.
Really risky dive. Kuvei had just gotten some armor.
Uh-oh, Lilac in trouble, pops the ultimate, and he should be able to make it out.
But going that deep, and look at the response immediately from Crown. Heads into the top side to help out. And when you commit that much, because they barely didn't kill the Maokai, which meant that Roar had to flash for the kill, and then he was absolutely defenseless once Crown got into the top lane.
Yeah. Could have been worse. I've seen dives involving an Azir go worse for teams this last week. So,
yeah. Good
still.
CLG joke. CLG isn't even safe from the Korean broadcast, guys.
Nope, sorry. That was a pretty funny play to watch, though. I enjoyed that one. It was simple yet beautiful, you know? Just an E, just an R, 4 kills. Well, 2 kills for Crown, but he'll be happy with that anyway. Fury getting even more farm. As he jumps out to a decent CS lead, of course. And this second dragon, will it go to Samsung? Coming up right now.
Yeah, they have the control at the moment. They trying to push forward.
Everybody has their ults except for Nautilus, and that may actually cause a bit of a problem. It's going to be up soon, but maybe not soon enough. Well, I am managing to find a position onto this dragon, but
they don't want
to
be here,
be careful.
Though.
Yeah, this could be a lot of AoE damage coming in. Oh, the poke is big. They get the dragon, but will they pay for it? Lilac throwing cleavers to disengage, and IM manages to do it. Now, can Samsung just turn around and take the mid lane turret or set up a fight by River? There's a ward there, so that's not going to work. Samsung in a great place to take this turret, and it looks like they should be able to. Good preventative whirlwind. Wow, Lilac just wading into the team. They're going to go in on a Kuvei. Nice heal, keeping him barely alive for now. Gets kicked back in. That's going to cost Tucson his life, though. A kill for Fury. Kills on each side. Turret goes down in favor of Samsung, though, definitely coming out ahead in that fight, and they're just going to go down to the tier 2 as well.
Yeah, why not? There's nothing else left from Incredible Miracle. They botched their engage. They could keep sieging this, honestly. They do not have to back off right now. They have a lot of mana left onto Fury and Crown. They can continue pushing forward.
Oh,
there are no ults. There are no ults on IM, and Crown still has Emperor's Divide. They absolutely could have kept sieging the tier 2.
Yeah.
That's your response?
Safe, I guess. Nah. Like, I don't know. What can you say? They didn't. I guess they didn't, Monte Cristo.
I mean, I know it's not when they're going to be at their strongest, but they 100% had a good opportunity right there just to keep moving forward and to at least get a little bit of damage onto the tier 2.
I do agree.
Also, they should have actually fought that dragon a little bit harder, too, because when IM doesn't have a flank, when IM is grouped up as 5 like that, there's a huge poke advantage for Samsung. They can just sit there, and if IM tries to engage on them, all they have to do is walk backwards. If no one is threatening the flank, there's almost zero risk.
Does it seem a bit like Samsung doesn't understand their comp as well as they could, perhaps?
I don't know yet, because they could just be saying, we're not strong yet. This Italy is still stacking the tier. We're still waiting for Fury to really come into his own and get that Blade of the Ruined King, maybe get a Last Whisper. He has it now. But there's that possibility also, where they just don't want to commit to a fight when they're not in their power spike. That's respectable, but at the same time, you have to look at that situation and say, you can get more out of this.
There is such a thing as too safe.
Yes, well, that was definitely too safe.
Yeah. Well, as is, Samsung is still the team dictating the pace of the game. Equal on turrets, up on dragons, up on gold, and up on CS in all 3 lanes as well. Fury just pushing back this top lane, and there's not a lot that Lilac can do about it. He's healing up so fast. And yeah, this Blade means that Lilac really can't fight this one-on-one. He's going to lose the turret. There it goes. Wow, Fury's still chasing. He's got the support of his team. So really pushing Lilac back here as well, too. This lets Samsung maybe get a little bit of vision around Baron, too, if they want it. But that was the last outer turret now.
Yeah, this is it's looking better and better for Samsung. They have the gold lead at this stage after being just a little bit behind early, and they're going to have more control over Dragon when it comes to it. So Samsung really starting to hit their stride. As we move into the 20-30 minute mark into this game, they have the tools necessary to deal with the tanky Mundo. And I am honestly, Lilac is not that tanky.
No, he has a Spirit Visage and a Giant Spell.
Yeah, and Fury really going to start hitting him hard. If he continues to stack HP without more armor, the Blade is going to do a lot of work on him.
That sure should. Oh, I am going deep into the enemy jungle to put down some wards. A bold scouting mission.
Yeah, they have 3 people there, and IM definitely has some nice vision control.
Seems like Samsung could cut them off a little bit, though. They're just going to go for this tier 2. They're like, all right, you want to go in and get wards? Fine, we'll get your tier 2 mid.
Yeah, they committed a lot of people to get that, and now they have to walk the long way around or risk going through that choke point. Lilac just going to check it with a cleaver. Does take a bit of damage from a Sand Soldier, and here comes the setup. Kuve's there. He can TP in at any time.
Whoa, that turret goes down fast.
Yep.
Oh, man. That was like 100 to 0 in a couple seconds.
Well, Trinity Force Cogmon is here, are pretty good at killing turrets, and you can do it from such a long range, too. The synergy with the Nidalee, you get more auto attacks during that Bio-Arcane Barrage time frame with the Nidalee heal. Just really nice comp from Samsung.
That turret was just gone.
It's got to keep happening like that, Doa. It's got to keep happening like that.
Dragging up in 45, and if they can get that move speed buff, that Kog'Maw is going to be even harder to deal with, as if he wasn't already. Nearly 30 CS up on every single lane right now for Samsung. Yeah, things are not looking good for IM early on here.
Nope. And how are they going to contest this next dragon? Really, really difficult. They have no wards, so they can't get Mundo into the back line. Mundo's going for a Randuin's Omen, but that is going to be finished about the same time Fury gets his eye. Oh my.
Whoa, a lot of damage onto Tucson. Good poke there. Ignar's going to go in onto Fury, though. Fury in a little bit of trouble. Gets saved, though. Ajana with the flashback. And Samsung, like we talked about earlier, just walking back, just kiting, and doing that poke damage.
Okay. Fury's not playing Juggernaut. He cannot do that.
It's
that was a
dangerous.
very poor idea from Fury because they had to use 3 summoners and a Monsoon just to save him. And all he did was a tiny amount of damage, so he needs to be careful. You have to stay behind your tank line with Kog'Maw when you don't have a Lulu in the mid lane.
Oh, they're going to kill this dragon so fast, too. Look at that. Just evaporating it. Q lands. Is he going to go in? Tries to. Whoa, nearly gets poked to death afterwards, but now that's a 3-1 dragon lead for Samsung Galaxy.
Instant rotation over to the enemy blue buff.
Yep. They could get a lot of positioning on the Baron, too, as well.
Yeah, they have a lot of Baron threat. Azir Kog'Maw, they can do it just as fast as they can kill towers. Or the dragon, pretty much. They can't leave this unwarded. Kuve just diligently cleaning out the side waves.
Oh, Tucson. Run. He's not even wearing a shirt or anything, so having that like acid stuff dropped on him, that really stings, you know? Really hurts.
Well, just like in Korea, people think that they will go bald from acid rain.
Yeah, that'd have to be some pretty strong acid rain.
It actually is like
It's a widely held belief.
unfortunately it is.
It's not quite as unreasonable as fan death, but it gets up there.
Fan death is.
Fan death is the best. Oh man. If just Google Korean fan death if you want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we don't need to explain it here, but it is
No.
ridiculous.
Ridiculously awesome. And we're not talking about fans like you guys. So you're safe. Don't worry about it. Different kind of fan. The oscillating variety.
Well, I mean, some fans are oscillating. They like one team and then another.
That's
Very
that is
rapid
true.
intervals.
That is true. I can think of a few organizations that may produce that type of fan. Oh, Tucson, they're going to jump on him. Dragon's Rage has to be used on Crown just to keep him away. Well, the slow but inevitable demise of LZIM seems to be continuing on, and it looks like it's just going to be a Baron now for Samsung. Oh, they might have a pick here on the Lilac, actually, too.
Yeah, they're looking for something. They need to do a better job of clearing out the vision because
Yeah,
they
they
could
do.
seriously be threatening this at the moment. Also, Talisman of Ascension done.
Oh, teleport coming in. Crown could be in a little bit of trouble here. Lilac
No.
lands a cleaver. Never mind.
Yeah, that was actually Crown did the right thing. He just stuck his Sand Soldiers into choke, dared them to come forward, and that was a waste of a teleport as a result.
I guess so. They're going to try to take mid lane turret in response, and even if they get it, I don't know if
They'll
they
get
can
it.
shield. Yeah, they'll get it, but it doesn't make a big difference right now because they're losing their tier 2 in bot.
Not a good trade. They basically traded a full health tier 2 turret for a tier 1 that had very few hits remaining.
Yeah, that's a 4-1 turret lead now for Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, the Mundo pick just has not really worked out terribly well just yet. I get the idea, but it's so hard to get into the back lines.
I mean, I don't really get the idea here.
I mean, theoretically, he'd be tanky against the amount of AP coming out of Samsung. But
Yeah, and they responded well in the draft. I mean, they saw the Mundo early on. Probably that's a lane matchup that Lilac's comfortable with, the Mundo into the Maokai. I don't think they expected Fury to default to a Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
It was a really good on-the-fly adaptation, though. Fury and Samsung probably haven't even been practicing AD Kog'Maw. We see it so rarely, but it is a great pick for the team composition. I really like Samsung's draft this game.
oh, some more poke damage onto Lilac. The MR really not helping him that much. And again, you know, I mean, I feel like we're seeing more of what you're talking about, where up near the Baron, Samsung could be doing a better job of clearing vision.
Yeah, they need to buy some pink wards and
Yeah.
get it together around that objective because basically they can force face checks right now.
Oh, okay. Flash ult onto Fury, but A whirlwind slows it down. Oh, Ray pushes him right out again. They're going to lose their tier 2. But will Samsung come in for some more damage? Cuvée is coming in from behind. Can they just flank and fight this?
Well, they need the vision. They decide they don't like what they see with the sapling, so they are going to back off. Regardless of whether that engage was successful, it was very good at quickly killing that tower. So that's a pretty nice win there for Incredible Miracle. They traded a tower for like a flash depth charge, or they got a tower for the flash depth charge of the Sivir. What they have to be careful now is if Samsung actually baits this Baron successfully.
Well, yeah, with that ult out of the way, with the Sivir ult out of the way as well, I feel like you can definitely bait that Baron pretty hard.
I don't know why Samsung keeps just grouping in the mid lane and split pushing bottom when they could just try to kill the Baron.
They do seem to be playing like overly safe. You know, maybe it seems to them like they aren't as far ahead as they are.
They want to do it because they know they have teleport advantage, but they can't play this way without adequate vision. I think the idea is solid here. You just threaten it, threaten it, threaten it, have somebody go bottom and then force a 5v4. But it's not exactly working. And also the other limiting factor is that Maokai is the primary engage on their composition. So, all right, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fast Baron as well, though. I am coming up to try to stop it. Can they do it? Baron getting even low. I am looking very unsure of themselves. Here comes a teleport right on the Frozen. Goes Cuvée. Baron does get doesn't get taken out. They turn it around. Cuvée getting very low. I am coming in now. Sivir ult used. Baron must have been so low. Roar gets a kill onto, well, he gets a double kill actually. Samsung, things falling apart in a big way though. Fury coming back with a double kill. They can turn it around. Fury needs to be careful though. A lot of damage. I really wonder what the health of that Baron was at when they turned. It had to be really low.
Sloppy call from Samsung. They didn't commit to the engage when Cuvée came through with the teleport and got the W down onto Victor immediately. They had to turn. A bit of a split call there. Even so, Fury absolutely carries that team fight, gets the flash onto Tucson. Tucson flashed to try and insect him out, and that just didn't work because Fury hit it on the other side. This is going to be Dragon number 4.
Yeah, they should be able to get it unless there's some sort of like miracle cleaver by Lilac, and there's not. So 4 dragons taken by Samsung Galaxy, and they can just get away. Not the best place to recall, perhaps, for Crown. But they got the objective. They got a objective anyway.
Yeah,
and objective.
Now they're threatening 5th dragon, so they should be a very happy place. Gonna try, there's a desperation Baron. They know there's a pink ward in the pit.
Looks a bit dangerous. Here comes Samsung. Now Crown is missing a little bit of health, but not much. Here we go. Oh man, the poke is huge from Fury, and they're gonna come in. Baron taken by IM, but Samsung coming in with a vengeance here. So much damage. Ult used by Wraith to keep Cuvée barely alive as Crown starts to rack up the kills, gets one onto Roar. And that's already one big Baron target out of the way, and now Samsung can just push right down this mid lane if they want to.
Yeah, they're going to have a hard time up against the Baron minions, and they couldn't quite get an angle onto the Baron to take it, even though they responded in a relatively quick manner. So IM gets a bit of a lifeline here, but the problem is that Baron is going to be down when they have their next team fight around the Dragon. So it's all about how much IM can actually push these waves. And they don't have a single wave in their favor right now. So a lot of this Baron is just going to be wasted as they try to move across the map.
Yeah, I don't think Samsung's going to feel a whole lot of pressure from this. At least IM is clearing out wards. Yeah, I mean, if you look across the map right now, I feel like Samsung should have a couple more wards out, shouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they should. I mean, they have 2 warding totems, but one of the problems with playing jungle Nidalee is that you just don't buy a Sightstone, so you're going to be behind in terms of wards. And
true.
He's tried to make that up by upgrading the warding totem, but there's kind of been inadequate pink warding by Samsung over the course of this game. At pretty critical instances.
Oh, they find Lilac at Tucson. A lot of damage coming in from Fury. A lot of damage coming in. Lilac forced to use his ultimate now.
Now, Lilac even has the Thornmail now, and he is still taking that much damage. Fury needing to get some MR. You can see him building into a QSS right now. That'll help him out in terms of tanking out the magic damage coming out of the Thornmail.
That'll help with AoE coming in from Frozen's Victor as well, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, Samsung, in spite of not having a Baron buff, easy time pushing forward. This is the desperation flank here.
Yeah, it's a good sapling too. They're going to see him with that in the ward. Now they know exactly where these guys are.
Yeah, very wise. The warding was fine there for Samsung.
Yeah.
They weren't really ever in any danger.
Ooh, faking that they're backing away and then coming right back into lane again.
Yeah, nice play. This is a great way to stall out the Baron. They gave it up because they didn't commit quickly enough. I think maybe they could have made it more of a contest. It was a bit of a 50-50. Eve nearly had a chance to steal it with the pounce into the pit. But in the end, just use these Azir passive turrets very aggressively, put them right next to your opponent's base and bottle them up. And now there's no more Baron. So nothing taken by IM.
Yep. Baron buff did not help them. They will push out the bottom lane just a little bit. Samsung falling back to regroup at this point. Have to re-push up some of their lanes here. Kind of maintenance stuff as they give the blue buff over to Crown. Wow, I am really coming in hard though into the enemy jungle. Getting some wards down. So that is nice. Again, you know, they do have a lot of wards. Samsung finally putting a ton of wards down the bottom jungle, but no wards really anywhere else.
Yep, and now they're just pushing up mid lane, setting up very nicely for this dragon. Samsung there well in advance. Although they still only have one pink ward to place around the pit. May cause them a problem.
Oh, Tucson, speaking of problems, gets caught. Twist advance onto him from Kuve. Here comes Crown to do a lot of damage. Uses that Emperor's Divide. The dragon coming up in a minute. I think it's not quite going to be up in a minute 15. I could be wrong. It'll be really close. In fact, no, I think it's going to be up.
Yeah, it should be up. It's a relatively short cooldown.
Yeah,
so
it is.
just using it right there, make the pick, and know that the death timer will be about the same time as your ultimate timer, so no big deal. It's making sure that Lee Sin can't escape with his Q and his W.
Yep.
Secure the kill. That is perfectly okay. Well, back to waiting around this dragon. It did buy Samsung more time to increase their presence around that objective without having to play it dangerously whatsoever.
Waiting for dragon. Sounds like a Lifetime original movie about the Daenerys Targaryen story. Where are my dragons?
Yeah, seriously, she can't do anything without them. She's useless.
It's true.
Can't even govern a city properly.
Nope. Pretty bad at that.
Has to have her dragons save her from insurrections that she could have prevented with better political skill.
Pretty much. I'm not on the Daenerys hype train when it comes to Game of Thrones, man.
No, she's pretty dumb, actually.
Yeah, she's not doing a very good job. Daenerys anti-hype.
It's okay.
Dragon's overrated.
I'm pretty sure the only person in that show who knows what they're doing is Tywin. So.
Well, I got some bad news for you, man.
Spoilers, Noah!
Well, Samsung, position over this dragon. They could take it. It would be dragon number 5 now. I am desperate to prevent it. It is do or die for IM in this game. If Samsung takes this 5th dragon.
Okay, but how do they engage? All they're doing is sitting there getting poked right now.
That's the problem.
And now the speed shrine is in favor of Samsung, so IM has to kind of wait for that speed shrine to go away.
Oh, here comes the dragon.
Definitely just do this.
They can. This is... Wow, they're letting themselves be pushed back. I'm surprised.
They definitely should not be letting themselves be pushed back.
All right. A bit of trepidation. It's a very delicate time. And they're going to push ahead for the poke, I guess. Italy spears everywhere. Flash engage onto Eve. They're going to turn right around and blow up Ignar, though. Ult onto Wraith by Nautilus. Not the most successful ult ever. The poke from Crown coming in. They're going to heal right through that Chaos Storm, it looks like. Tucson still around, Frozen out of the fight via low health. Going to come in and try to steal this dragon. Can't do it with the cleaver. That's 5 dragons for Samsung Galaxy. They're going to go right up to the Baron that is spawning right now.
And that was perhaps the worst possible decision for IM. Because by stalling that out so long and then losing the fight anyway, they're going to lose not only 5th Dragon, but Baron also.
It hurts. There goes the Baron.
Well, you can see, I mean, IM has no answer to get onto this Kog'Maw.
Yep.
Fury is absolutely 100% scot-free. He's got the Führer enchantment now as well. Who is going to stop the Kog'Maw? There's no backline threat from Incredible Miracle.
Things are not going well. Giant Dragon Baron enhanced Maokai.
5th Dragon enhanced as well.
Yep.
Just powering on through.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh,
Iron Elixir ran out at a very disappointing time.
what a buzzkill.
Yep. Got to get more.
Not sure why you would put the turret there instead of one further up.
It's a good question. Maybe to try to warn the flanks, perhaps, but we'll see. The Siege is doing some good. That cannon minion helping out, and they got to be careful. Oh, Lilac poked out. With Lilac there, Fury should just be able to walk up and kill it, right? Maybe that'd be a little bit dangerous. We're going to wait for that second wave. There we go. Now coming in, now they'll take out that turret, and the inhibitor is next. Nothing really IM can do. The bottom lane tier 2 might be taken by the minions for IM, but I don't think Samsung's too worried about that.
No, and they can just keep pushing up. They, unfortunately for Samsung, they don't have the side minion wave control to really maximize this 5th Dragon / Baron powered push that they have right now, but they do enough. They crack the base. They're still with a huge compositional advantage in this late game, so they shouldn't have too terribly hard of a time closing. There's also a slow wave push developing in bottom now because it didn't kill the turret, so it was able to reset, and that will build up into quite a sizable minion wave if Samsung's able to wait long enough for it to push out.
And meanwhile, Samsung pushing up the top lane now. Still has that 5th Dragon, still has that Baron. A little bit of time on both remaining. And they're just going to go right in on this one.
Try to clear with the gravity field, getting all the minions stacked up for a death ray, but the Baron empowered minion's still too strong to be cleared out instantly, and that means that this big minion wave continues to move through. There's so much damage.
Wow, yeah, they're really making the most out of this Dragon buff now. Dragon and Baron all used on the Kuve. No follow-up from IM. A little bit of a panic move, I think, from Ignar there. Oh, they're going to go in. Lisa trying to make a play. Nice flash from Fury to avoid that one, and Crown picks up a kill. Now Samsung turning it around. It was a desperation move from IM. I think it's going to result in a pretty easy team fight win for Samsung. All the poke coming in, all the damage from Fury and Crown, and all the members except for Lilac go down, and this one is over. 46 minutes in, took a little bit longer than it maybe needed to, but Samsung able to poke their way to victory here in their first game against LZIM, and didn't really seem like IM had an answer to any of this.
No, not at all.
Yep, there it goes. Nexus goes down. Knockups onto Lilac for fun, and GG. Samsung takes game 1.
And even though Samsung, I think you're right, they could have closed it out faster. It's hard to fault them for taking the safer route when they knew 100% with absolute certainty that they would be more powerful.
That is true.
So they may have been able to snowball a bit harder. I think they definitely could have put more pressure onto the tier 2 in the mid lane, that one push, and accelerated the game some, but at the end of the day, they definitely played to their power spike. They definitely played to their composition.
I mean, it's a smart thing to think about in a lot of games where it's better to take 100% win 10 minutes from now than an 80% win now, you know?
Absolutely.
It's true. It's a very true thing for a lot of different games. And very true for Samsung here in game number 1. I am looking a bit disappointed, and those types of games, too, are pretty antagonizing to play because you just feel yourself getting farther and farther behind. It's a tough loss for IM to handle, and we'll see if they can maybe